Stanley Wong believes it's reasonable to expect a maximum 10% hike this year.
We're going to have perhaps a high single-digit increase in the income of in the public housing families, and perhaps I would not rule out that perhaps the increase will be more than 10%.
But under the existing mechanism, any rental increase cannot be more than 10%. In the last two rounds of hikes in 2010 and 2012, the Housing Authority granted tenants 1 month of free rent to ease their burden. But Wong pointed out rent exemption is a discretionary measure, and that's unlikely to happen this time round because of the authority's financial situation.
The Housing Authority has basically put out our final budget for this year. Now, according to that particular financial projection, the reserve of the Housing Authority will actually fall from 68 billion Hong Kong dollar to only 28.3 billion Hong Kong dollar by the end of 2017-2018.
Wong added that frequent rent exemptions undermine the rent adjustment mechanism.
Within the mechanism itself, there's a certain relief for the tenants, and that is if wages increase more than 10%, the rental increase has to be only 10% according to the cap.
Instead of offering rent exemptions, Wong said the authority could use its financial resources to renovate public housing estates. Vicky Kung, TVB News.
The Secretary for Labor and Welfare has sought to ease concerns about social welfare payments because of a threat of a filibuster in LegCo. Stephanie Choi reports.
Welfare Chief Matthew Chung expressed hope the government will be able to distribute an extra month of old age allowance in August if the LegCo Finance Committee gives its approval at its July 11th meeting. He called on lawmakers not to stage a filibuster. Meantime, the government will start accepting applications for a pilot scheme to subsidize caregivers to the elderly from next month.
The objective is really to invite application from those on the waiting list, on the central waiting list for long-term care, either residential home or for community care services. If the pilot proves to be viable and successful, we do not rule the possibility of making it a regular program.
Caregivers from low-income families who work at least 80 hours a month will be eligible for a $2,000 monthly subsidy. 2,000 people are expected to benefit. Chung also said next month authorities will notify applicants eligible for subsidized residential care places the government purchased from 2 elderly homes in Yantian and Zhaoqing in Guangdong province.
Chung stressed the government is not trying to force elderly applicants to stay in homes on the mainland and said applicants will be able to choose between elderly homes in Hong Kong and those on the mainland.
He added the government will take measures to make sure those staying in elderly homes on the mainland can have easy access to medical services in Hong Kong. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
Time to pass it over to Tony to bring us the heat.
That's right. If you're a Miami fan, you'll be celebrating tonight, and hopefully in further matches too. The Miami Heat are through to the NBA Finals once again after storming past the Indiana Pacers overnight. Leading 3-2 in their Eastern Conference Finals series, Miami turned up the heat against the Pacers. LeBron James had another good game for Miami. Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh also chipped in to help the Heat to a 117-92 win. They eliminated Indiana for the 3rd straight year and head to their 4th consecutive NBA Finals, a record shared only with the Lakers and the Celtics. Well, a win for reigning world champion Spain as they prepare to defend their title in Brazil next month. England also notched up a solid victory in last night's round of friendlies.
England were looking to put on a good show for fans in their last match at Wembley before heading off to the World Cup in Brazil. Daniel Sturridge put the home team ahead of Peru in the 32nd minute with a beautiful shot into the top corner of the net. England's other goals came in the second half, with Peru at fault for not defending corner kicks properly. Leighton Baines' set piece was headed home in the 65th minute by Gary Cahill. Then Phil Jagielka found the net 5 minutes later after Peru goalkeeper Raul Fernandez dropped Baines' corner. England next face Honduras and Ecuador in Miami, Florida, before heading to Brazil to play Italy in their World Cup opener. Also winners last night were World Cup holders Spain. Fernando Torres calmly chipped a 51st minute penalty kick down the middle to put his team ahead of Bolivia. Andre Iniesta glided forward to curl the shot past the keeper in the 84th to seal a 2-0 victory.
And staying with the World Cup, here in Hong Kong, a group of volunteers have been brushing up on their sign language skills to provide football commentary for the deaf. As Rachel Leung reports, they've even invented new signs to ensure that no detail is left unsaid.
With the World Cup around the corner, local football fans are looking forward to watching the games on TV. And these people have volunteered their services to help the deaf enjoy the matches as well. Using sign language to provide football commentary for the deaf, they are the first group in Hong Kong to provide this kind of service. Simon, one of the sign language narrators, says exaggerated body language and emotions are a must when providing commentary on football matches. And instructors have come up with new signs for some of the technical terms in football. This sign means diving, which is when a player falls on purpose, hoping that the referee will think an opponent had knocked him down. Kenny, their instructor, is a hardcore football fan, and he hopes that narrating in sign language can allow the deaf to grasp every little detail of a match. He says that some of the information can be left out easily, such as why and which player needs treatment for an injury. Signing football narrators will use jersey colors to represent a country and jersey numbers to point out each player. Rachel Leung, TVB News.
Well, it's almost that time of the year again, the annual Tun Ng Festival and exciting dragon boat races. As Rachel Leung reports, many local and overseas teams are taking the opportunity to do some last-minute practicing ahead of the mega event.
Focus! Team 3, cheers for APS! Hip hip! APS! Hip hip! APS! Hip hip! APS! All in! Woo!
Ready, set, and paddle. Ahead of the annual Dragon Boat Championships here in Stanley, many teams headed to the site for a training session. After weeks of rain, the blue skies on this day made training much more appealing. 278 local and overseas teams will be participating in this year's event.
It's very exciting because it's part of the Chinese culture. So we are blending the Chinese with the Western culture. And here in Stanley is a big carnival. And we do like party and do team sports. So it's quite exciting for us to blend the cultures.
I think Dragon Boat is a great example of teamwork.
The festival may be all fun and games, but for some of these teams, the races mean so much more.
It's difficult to get people to be on time and to commit hard for the team because they needed to feel the team spirit. But in the end, it's always party. They always come and we get together and we do the practice and also the races.
Dragon boating is a team sport and you have the team together. It comes to rhythm, it comes to power, stamina. That needs a lot of training. And we start usually mid of February, every Saturday.
The yearly spectacle is expected to draw more than 100,000 dragon boat lovers, spectators and tourists to the shore. It will take place in Stanley on June 2nd.
Apart from all the dragon boat races, there will also be a carnival along the Stanley Main Street featuring crafts and game booths. All paddlers invited to put on their best costumes to compete for the Most Outstanding Outfit Award. Rachel Leung, TVB News.
And that's a fun-filled wrap of our news.
That's right. Thanks for watching. Good night.
So you will each get to choose 3 of your former competitors to join your team.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I hold, you cut.
There can be only one winner.
The stakes are amped up on this, and I want Race to win.
Sunday, Face Off, the season finale at 8:30 on Pearl.
500 pounds of gear, an 11-foot inflatable Zodiac boat, 30 feet from high tide to low water. On the water, 12 to 14 hours a day. Extreme cold, 40 degrees below zero. Whatever it takes to seize the moment.
Canon EFL 鏡頭系列，駕馭嚴峻環境，Your reliable partner. Canon, delighting you always.
If you think 622 horsepower sounds awesome,
This is a serious car. I bet it doesn't know a single joke.
imagine what 739 horsepower would sound like.
It is as quiet as a library for church mice.
Monday, Top Gear at 9:35 on Pearl. Sun Life Financial presents The Weather Report is brought to you by Sun Life Financial.
Good evening. It was hot today. Thanks to an anticyclone about Guangdong, the weather was fine in Hong Kong. Up to 5 p.m., temperatures range from about 28.4 to 32.8 degrees, and the relative humidity was constantly about 65%. The current temperature is about 31 degrees Celsius, with the relative humidity standing at 75%. The very hot weather warning is now in force. So, Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow?
Oh.
It will be mainly fine with a few isolated showers overnight and tomorrow morning. Temperatures will range between 28 and 33 degrees. Monday is 31May Festival, and it's gonna be quite hot for those who will be rowing. Tomorrow's air quality health index is forecast at low to moderate. The maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 11. Now it's time for weather around the world. Rain in Shanghai and cloudy in Xiamen. Cloudy in Guangzhou and Chengdu. Cloudy in Seoul and sunny in Tokyo. Thunderstorms in Bangkok and Manila. Thunderstorms in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. Cloudy in New Delhi and sunny in Karachi. Sunny in Cairo and rain in Nairobi. Rain in Sydney and Melbourne. Sunny in Toronto and New York. Foggy in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Bright in London and Amsterdam. Sunny in Zurich. That's the weather. Have a lovely evening.
It was brought to you by Sun Life Financial. Life's brighter under the sun.
Should you vote for me just because I'm the rich, popular, good-looking guy?
I only came to give you a second chance.
You have a year to find someone to love you. Or stay like this forever.
No. Pretty gruesome.
I've seen worse. She would like it when you are being kind.
I thought I'd take the ugly and shameful thing and turn it into something not.
I need more time.
Tonight, Beastly on Pearl's Weekend Blockbuster.
The war is over!
This is gonna be fun. Astrid, she's been glaring at me all night.
Well, you did try and have her killed.
I said I was sorry. If you want me to leave, I can leave.
The Tomorrow People, Tuesday at 10:50 on Pearl.